I'm going to show you really quickly how I make my fresh, fabulous blueberry pie and how the lattice topping is really easy and fun to weave. Make a double butter pie crust, my recipe's at the end, and refrigerate the dough and rolling pin. Okay, rinse 6 cups of fresh blueberries. Pat them dry really well. Add 3/4 cup of sugar, 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Fold together really gently so you don't squish the blueberries, and then set aside so they get juicy and blended while you roll out the dough. Your rolling pin should be cold now, that's why I like these stone ones. So take that, your dough, and an egg out of the refrigerator, and you're going to roll out the larger round dough for the bottom shell. Okay, so you can mend any pie dough cracks with water and flour and just kind of push them together. And then I take a ruler and I make sure that the dough has at least 2 inches around the sides. So that would be like 13 inches in diameter for a 9-inch pie dish. And then I just roll it up around the pin, and then I'm going to unroll it over the pie dish. There you go. Now push the dough into the pie pan and around the sides, and then we're going to trim around the edge with a knife. Now I'm going to roll out the second disc of dough that was slightly smaller. So I'm going to clean and reflour my surface. And this one we're going to roll out to about 10 inches in diameter. And this is what we're going to use for the lattice topping. I like how the consistency of this one is smoother because it's been out of the refrigerator for a couple of minutes. Now I actually use my ruler again to measure the strips for the lattice. Believe me, I cleaned that ruler really well with rubbing alcohol before I began. So I make a mark at every inch on the ruler, and then I cut the strips. Now, after I roll all my blueberries in, I try to rearrange them and make them all even, otherwise it makes the lattice topping uneven. So I start with the first strip in the center and then just start weaving back and forth. And then I just tucked all of the ends of the lattice strips underneath themselves and formed the edge of the pie. And now I'm going to make an egg wash for the top so that it gets nice and browned. So I just use 1 egg and whisk it really well. And then I'll brush it on top of just the crust strips, the lattice strips. And then I'm going to top that with a little bit of sugar. And that will give the top of the pie this nice glazed and crispy flakiness, and then the sides and the bottom will come out really lightly flaky and buttery tasting. Then I cover the edges with this pie ring, or you can use aluminum foil, just so that the edges don't get too browned, and then I take that off about halfway through the time that it's baking. Now I pop it in the oven at 400 degrees, and I just check on it about every 10 minutes, but it takes about 50 minutes. And I can tell that it's done whenever it's about this brown on the top, and I carefully lift it up, and I can see that it's done in the center underneath, and you'll see all the blueberries bubbling through the lattice. Then you need to let it cool to room temperature, and then cover it with a pie dome or put it in a pie container in the refrigerator, but let it set for at least 4 hours or your blueberries will be runny. Now that I'm ready to serve it, I'm going to make something to go on the side. I'm just mixing some more fresh berries with a little bit of pomegranate juice for a sauce, and I'll add just a touch of sugar to balance out the tartness. I add about 2 teaspoons, but just blend and taste to see what's right for you. I just want to make sure we have a thoroughly blended nice sauce. Okay, let's slice into this. There's the beautiful piece of pie. Okay, then I'm going to take a little bit of the sauce. And I made this little rose ice cream. And then I'm just going to take a few blueberries and place them around. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
I am absolutely annihilating this pie. It is so good. The crust is tender and flaky and buttery. The blueberries and the ice cream together are incredible. I hope that you make it. If you like the video, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.